Yo, people, before we start today's episode, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors for this season, Watchbox UK. Based down in Hatton Gardens, they're leading the way in supplying you with the best prices for buying, selling, and sourcing top of the range watches and high quality jewels. Head over to their Instagram, the link will be in the bio, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Please enjoy the episode. Yes, people, and we're back with another episode of On the Duty. And today I've got Liverpool centre half Joe Gomez. Thank you for coming, bro.
Nice to be here, bro. Thank you for having me.
What's happening?
Nothing, man. Chilling. Enjoying the break. Like, we've got a couple of weeks to just chill while the World Cup's going on. And family time, man. Back at home and chilling.
You're a family man, aren't it? So you don't really do much.
Yeah. Nah, just come home, chill. Like, I don't... Any chance we get to come down for a decent period. Like, we went away, but apart from that, just chill.
Everyone went away.
Yeah, you got to, man. Like, it's a weird like dynamic to have this sort of break in the season, but
It must, isn't it?
yeah.
Speaking of the World Cup and that, I feel like you have a lot of injuries. You're hitting form, and then you didn't get picked. Did you think you should have got picked, or?
Nah, I didn't. Obviously, like, it was a big aspiration, and I was hoping to go. Like, on the last day, it was sort of like, I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't have like an expectation, but it was definitely aspiration. Like, before the camp before, I was like, oh, maybe I can get back in. But at the same time, I knew I've been away from the squad that long. Like, I knew it was gonna take a lot, but I was disappointed because it's obviously a dream. Like, I wanna go to a World Cup to experience that, and I feel like I've missed out on the other major tournaments. But it's football, man.
I'm still young, 25. What you got? Next one, you're 29. You got Euros in a couple of years. You got you're at a big club as well. I think that plays a massive factor as well.
Yeah, with the opportunity and like doing well, then I hope so. But yeah, just look forward.
Keeping it on England. When was your first? How did your first call up come about? Like, obviously, you got signed. You're at Liverpool, doing well. Did you expect it, or is it just like you get a random call?
Yeah, no, I didn't. So like, I was in the 21s, then I got injured, and then once I came back from injury, I think like half the next season I wasn't playing. Following season, I started playing fullback, got games.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And then it was like, I didn't expect it at all. I don't even think like I got a call from Gareth or anything. It was just like, or like the text, like you get a text, like if it's an announcement's at 2, like you get a text at like 1 or something.
Okay.
But I was buzzing, man. I think at the time there was me, Ruben, Tammy.
Yes, it was
like
under 21s and stuff.
Gareth, just got us involved, and then like, it was good, man. Like, it was amazing. Obviously, I was nervous. Like, more so, like, everyone thinks obviously the game comes around, but the start of the week, you're just thinking, meet up. Like, big players.
Yeah.
How am I going to settle? How am I going to, like, who am I chilling with? The little things. You think of those things when you're driving to St. George's, like, oh, who am I going to say hello? Like, all of them things. But once I was out of the way, it's amazing.
So how does that work? So, let's say Monday, you have to arrive. The driver comes pick you up.
Yeah.
You got all your boots and that sorted from before, and you just rock up.
Yeah, depending on where you are, like, sometimes pickup can be early, but St. George's is meant to be like a middle ground, isn't it? And then you sort of just you arrive, and then sort of what you see, like they do the arrival videos. And,
I watch all of them, man.
Yeah, so it's like that, man. It's just, it is what you see, sort of.
Nasty. And then again, stepping out Wembley, from you coming from London, that's like the pinnacle of football. Like, whenever you drive, even when you drove there, you saw the arch and stuff like that. Like, what was that like for you, family, missus, even friends?
Yeah, it was massive, man. Like, when I made my debut, I didn't expect to come on, because I think can't remember who got injured. It might have been Phil Jones, but then there was someone else on the bench, and obviously I'm nervous regardless because of the week, like just everything going on. And then it kind of helped me though, because it was against Germany, and it was like you're on.
Yeah.
So in that way, I was grateful. And then I played the next game, and obviously I had the nerves again, but like a special feeling for me, like just to have my family there and to play against that sort of opposition as well.
Yeah.
It's everything you dream of, man.
And there's that rivalry, England-Germany rivalry and stuff like that. Do they build it up in the camp, or they just let you focus?
I think it is portrayed as a massive game. You know, like they account for who's the top seeds in the world, and we know we're playing their top team. But it's not, the whole media buzz around it isn't really taken into account. It's just, this is a quality team, but it's going to be a tough game.
I hear that. I thought they would have blew it up like, we've got to get out there and do it for the fans and stuff like that.
Nah, it's just, that's a given in a way.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you got to be up for it and give it your all, but it's that you don't need that outside in the camp. I think that's where they try and create a bubble and just make you feel kind of game.
Nah, I hear that. I'd say I'm an Arsenal fan, and my family's all Liverpool, all of them. So we kind of watch Arsenal and Liverpool together. But your comeback was a bit rusty. Couple of bad games, like one, don't want to disrespect you, but one really bad game, let's say Napoli and stuff like that. How do you deal with the comments and stuff like that? Like socials and media and all of that?
I don't see them. Like, I guess going through injury and so on, you kind of, in those periods you're alone and you have time to reflect and think. And then when you're playing, once you come to terms with that, you don't really seek the validation, whether it's highs or lows. It's like if I get taken off at half time, I know I had a bad game.
Yeah.
There's no one got to tell me that. I'll speak to the gaffer, and that's that. Like, obviously in that period, I knew I want to try and do well for Liverpool and to get in the squad. And you obviously have your own thoughts, like you're disappointed, like why did I do this? Well, naturally. But in terms of socials and all that, just
Comments off and all of that.
I don't have Twitter on my phone. I don't go on my main Instagram and look. Like, there's no point. I used to do it when I was younger, like good game, come in, type Twitter, but what, it's like you see one and then one bad one or one iffy one, and it's like there's so many opinions. There's no point.
Everyone's a pro on Twitter, innit?
Exactly. So not to disregard anyone. It's just my personal approach isn't to seek the sort of validation, good or bad. Like, I don't want to get too high after I have a good game, and if I have a bad game, I'd rather sit with my missus, my agent, say T, my friends, like have an honest conversation about it. Like, they'll tell me, hey, you had a mare, or you didn't do this, or and I'll sit with the analysts, discuss it.
Okay.
There's no point. Like, what's it gonna do for me? I already know. So it's like,
Yeah. What about boos? Have you experienced boos? Like, even if you're coming off from like home fans or away fans and stuff like that?
not from Liverpool. Probably like more
Everton.
No, not even opposition. Like, maybe there's times in the stadium it gets a bit frosty.
Yeah.
You can sense that you're not having the best game. Everyone knows you're not having the best game, and it's a bit like get on the ball and give away a pass. But yeah, it's character building for sure. Like, with time, you experience having those games, and then can deal with them and actually have a conversation with yourself in the game, or to be able to like put it in perspective. Like, come on, just get back to it. Like, what can you do? What's gone is gone.
And it's like Anfield is like a fortress. Like, it's proper enclosed, isn't it? So you're going to get the ball from a thread and they're on you.
Yeah.
If you're having a bat, like they're telling you, having a stick.
Yeah, but like, they wouldn't. We've got great fans. Like, they wouldn't do that, like, maliciously.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just trying to.
Yeah, but it is an intense. More so, you see it with opposition. We see teams come and then the fans are on it, and you see like people don't want the ball, and like pressure gets to the whole team's dynamic. Certain teams come and they try to play football, and it's like when Anfield's on it, it's tough, bro. It's tough.
Especially that game against Man City when they smashed up the buses.
Yeah, bro, it's when they're up for it, like European nights or like title deciders, or it's a 12 man, and it's cliche, like, but it's real, because when you're actually on the pitch and that's happening, you can't ignore it, man.
Yeah. So like I said, my dad, massive fan. And I took him on a tour of Anfield. My auntie lives in Manchester, so let's go to Anfield for the day. And they took us in the away change room, and it's below a stand, and it's got like no soundproofing, so you can hear the fan just, so it's proper intimidating.
Yeah, and it's just bland, like, it's just great. There's little things, man, like, it's not, I definitely don't think it's an easy place to go for opposition, for sure.
Like, no way. Because you're like, it's like one of the last few old school stadiums. But yeah, man. All right, cool. What part of South London did you grow up?
Like Catford, Lewisham.
Okay, yeah. Pitts?
Yeah, that was a big part, man.
Yeah, I was down at Pitts a couple of times.
Yeah, when you could pay £1.
Nah, we would just sneak in.
Yeah, I didn't have that in me, man. I didn't have that in me. Well, you get in, but then they'll come to the cage and say you lot ain't paid. But yeah, that was big. Like some holidays, I wasn't so much evenings and that, but like every holiday,
yeah,
like that was the day. Just play all day. Try to do a bit.
Nah, it's good, man. Do you know, it makes you see how much talent London's got. Like, there's so many people that are so good at football that haven't got a club.
Like if people come and watch the games and they see the level, it's like it's serious.
But why do you think they ain't got a club? Like, you probably know people that are sick at Pitts, but why do you think they ain't got a club?
I don't know. I think football's a lot of luck. Like, I think it's opportunity at the right time and just being seen. I think if you play at a stable Sunday League club, say for instance, and you get the opportunity to get scouted, but it's like a lot of the guys who we're playing with at Pitts don't play consistently at Sunday League, or like they can't get there, or I think there's a lot that goes on, or like things affect behaviour maybe, but for those that get the opportunity, I think it's just a lot of it's luck. Like, you get the opportunity and you take it at the right time because there's the right staff at the club or whatever.
Yeah.
I think a lot of stars align to get to that position.
Yeah, luck is a massive part of it. Who did you play for? 10B?
Yeah, I was 10B. Yeah, and then before that I was Lewisham Youth, then 10B, and then went to Charlton.
All right, cool. You mentioned luck. Do you feel you were lucky to play under 18s at 13? Because I don't know how that's even legal.
Yeah. Like, things obviously have to fall into place. Opportunity, like if the squad's more scarce, but at the same time, when I look at my like academy journey, it wasn't easy. When I first went, I got released, and then I was never the player in the age group that was like, yeah, he. I think it was just like application, willingness to learn, and that eventually, like, the academy director awarded me the opportunity. It wasn't, and I guess I thrived for more. It's like Pitts. Like, when you go Pitts, it's you play with whoever.
Yeah.
And you enjoy like getting bullied a little bit, or like having those battles. So it wasn't. Probably was some luck for sure, because in a journey to get to that point, you gotta have some luck. But I don't think I was one that was like just gifted it, because I wasn't that talented in that sense.
That's mad, because you're skipping under 14s, 15.
No, but I still played.
But still, you play a 13-year-old. Like, I don't think there's anyone else that's done that.
I don't even know what age I was. Like, I know I was young. I was a few age groups, but yeah, it was enjoyable because at that time there was no Cat 1. I don't think there was Cat 1, Cat 2. So I remember we played Arsenal and it was like
just
Zach. Yeah, like Zach Hanser and all these boys, and it was like, at that point, the 18s pitch with all the fans there felt like Champions League final. So I remember just being nervous, man. But it's an experience that helps you grow for sure.
I can respect that. You mentioned T. Obviously, Tariq Holmes-Dennis is a good friend of yours. We had him on, and unfortunately for him, he got injured. You've had quite a few serious injuries, cruciate, few ankle problems and stuff like that. Was there ever a point where you thought, I could be done?
Yeah, my last one. Like, because obviously with time you sort of, you realise, obviously I got hit with my ACL early, so it gave me a new perspective. I need to stay on top of things. And then my ankle ones were semi-bad, but fine. But my last on my knee was like, I was sitting on the bed, like, I was kind of out of it because it was a serious one. But then I remember calling my missus and I was, and it all just happened quick. Because it's when something happens and there's a tackle, but I was by myself, planted, and like, it never really got, because it was quite serious and there wasn't really many people for me to. ACLs, I guess, are kind of common. You can relate to people like chondrules and all, like T-head, but this one, there was no one I could. Oh, what happened?
How did you recover?
Yeah, like it was traumatic because like my kneecap was.
Oh, was it? Did it pop?
Yeah, I ruptured my
patella.
Yeah, so like it was up here, and it was out of the blue, like, so it was a trauma of it as well. I think ACL like happened, and I kind of, you feel okay, can I play on, and you get a scan, it's not, that's ACL. But this one, like a leg break in a way, you just have that, oh my gosh, what's going on?
That's mad. That happened to Moses Adebayo. He's from your end as well. Happened to him, he said, and he just got to the Prem. It
was hard, like there wasn't really many people to reach out to, and I was speaking to Fraser Forster a bit. He done it when he was, but it's different as a goalkeeper. It's different demands on the body, and I learned a lot, man, like about the body and just about myself. I think that one was like, gave me a new perspective on the game, because it was just one moment and I didn't see it coming. I felt fine. I'd had like a grumbly thing for years, like everyone gets Osgood's or like tendonitis. But then in that moment, I just thought, after the ones I've had, I thought, this is
crazy, isn't it? But you're back positive. Does it play in your mind in games or in training and stuff like that?
Not anymore, but it took me a while. Just because of the nature of how it happened, because I was by myself, just planted, and it then obviously I'm going to play a pass again the same way I did it. I'm going to try and break the line, and
of course.
Yeah, so for like, obviously my whole rehab, and then like 6 months after, it was like, if it didn't feel right, or it's always going to be different, but I just have to take like confidence in doing the work, doing everything that it's a non-negotiable. Like, I can't not do my work.
Yeah.
Whether it be in a congested like fixture, or like in a congested week, we're coming back late or whatever. I can't. It's a non-negotiable, and that's the only thing that gives me peace of mind. So I can't leave it down to luck or chance. So, and then after that, it's not controllable.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. So throughout all the build-up of injuries and stuff, you're saying this one was the worst one. It happens, then all the other ones come back. Obviously, because you're saying you was by yourself, it probably makes you feel worse. How do you stay positive?
Family, just taking it day by day. Obviously a lot, I guess you take perspective and feeling like, this is a bad one, and just keeping it more short term, the whole long term goal of so and so. It's just, I want to run, I want to jump, I want to sprint. And then just, family, like obviously I have a little one, that's the massive escape, my wife. Just try and come, but like I said, I learned a lot about myself.
Yeah.
Had to do a lot of like self-development and just have a new outlook, and that's why I say, I guess you don't seek validation from outside sources, because when you're alone in that time, you're kind of forgotten. You're by yourself. No one's gonna do the work for you. So it's, when you get back to that, it's like, I know what I went through to get to this. So I have gratitude to play a game regardless, or like to do what I do. So it's, if I have a bad game, it's a bad game. In contrast to feeling like when I was on the bed at St. George's, like,
bad game's nothing. No, I hear that. Do you feel when you're injured, and then you come back, do you feel like a lot's changed? Like the team dynamics change and stuff like, or are they, you say like Liverpool's got a good bunch, are they including you and stuff like that? Or it's just, you come out and then the banter's different? What are they laughing at now? Who's done this and I've missed it?
There are things that you're not in tune with, like, for sure. I personally, like, preferred to be on a different schedule to the team. Just, I had ones where like after my ACL I had an Achilles, like tendinopathy in this. One of those ones you get constant questions and it's training. You don't want to like keep saying, how long? And everyone's doing it out of care and but you'd rather just keep your head down. So in that sense, yeah, you miss the team banter for sure. You're not in the dressing room, not in the physio room. But you try and do things. When I got closer, you sit with analysts. What's training like? Try and watch training. Obviously, you still watch games. But yeah, the day-to-day banter, you miss it. You have to like gradually get back involved and stuff. Yeah.
Well, okay. So, last little question on this. Do you feel like all of this is as a build-up from starting playing like a high demanding standard of football from such a young age? From like 13, you're playing under 18s, and then you're only 25, so that was what, 12 years ago? You've crammed all of that into a little space, whereas some people, 12 years is their whole career.
Yeah.
Do you feel that has an effect on it?
Yeah, I think at the time of me getting it, I don't know how much the pass or the play the part. I know at the time of me getting injured, obviously, Virgil got injured. We was having like a mini crisis.
Oh, was he?
No, we were as a club.
Yeah.
So I think I'd never really played like Tuesday, Saturday. And I'd always had a knee pain. So you kind of get numb to it. But I can't say if it was accumulation of my whole career, but I know in that period it definitely was. Because for this to happen, like in hindsight, obviously I sit with the sports scientists, sit with the physios, and we all know why it happened. But there's no telling.
Yeah.
There's no telling. But you wouldn't change it. You want to play as much football as you can as a kid. But I guess with these things, you learn lessons and wouldn't go play at pits on Astro and do certain things now.
UMT got something in common, innit?
Yeah. I guess so.
I see you made a comeback. Didn't you try and play with someone?
Yeah, we went to Welling for a bit. We was training together in the off-season. And it was just...
Not gonna...
Yeah, just fluid and... Yeah, it's tough. But it was a nice journey. I think it will look back that he gave it his all.
Yeah.
Because I think there's always that underlying sense of, is that it? So, but he applied himself, man. It just wasn't...
Yeah, it's mad.
But that's what I'm saying, like with someone like that close to me, having that perspective.
It's kept you positive.
Keeps me level because how can I not be grateful?
Yeah, well, he's cool, man. All right, back to football. All right, so before you moved to Liverpool, you've got a big stint playing at Charlton. How did it feel as a young 17, 18, and you're basically about to take a senior player's shirt and start at Charlton? This is League One. League One?
Who was it?
Champ. You're 17, 18. From that end, like this is your local club.
Yeah.
And you're about to take a senior player who's got tons of games above you, his shirt.
Championship dressing rooms are daunting as a youth team. Like when you come in, there's a few that put their arm around you and then others that it feels a bit like, yeah, this is... Because people are playing for their livelihoods and it's serious. Like you don't take that for granted. In a way, I was lucky because I came in at fullback and Chris Solly, similar, had knee issues. So the demand of Tuesday, Saturday, it was basically like I was rotating.
Yeah.
So it wasn't outright, I'm taking this shirt. It was just, I got like fed in gradually at fullback and he was always good with me, like try and give advice and so on. But it's intense, it's different because you go from, at that point 23s wasn't even really a thing.
Yeah.
It was like maybe just started, but it's serious. You can tell it's a different caliber.
Yeah, there's no big contract thing. Maybe now, but back then probably.
No, it's
you're getting like a 2-year deal. And you've got to play all season.
You want to play,
yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same, but it's a great thing. And the Champ's such a tough league.
Yeah,
it's relentless, like demanding every week. And you come against that athlete. It's a tough league for sure.
I want to jump a little bit. How different did you find it, the champ standard and the Prem standard? Obviously, there's a massive difference, but for you personally, did you have to change certain things, even like prep and all of that?
Yeah.
Was it hard to adapt?
Yeah, it was an eye opener. I think the biggest thing, when I went up there, I didn't expect to play. I thought I was going to Liverpool to go and learn. I stayed, I got the opportunity, and I only played like, I think 7 or 8 games before I got injured. So from like a prep point of view, that forced me to. Because I look back in hindsight, like recovery, nutrition, I was all over the place. But in terms of, I remember we played West Ham like a few games in. Obviously you have that self-doubt, the Prem, like the same way as a kid looking at the Prem. It's like, can I do this? And I think I started to get a bit like, you come for your first few and I can do this. A bit of complacency. And then you get punished. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, a yard too deep, a yard too far outside, not covering. Like, that's the one thing I noticed. I think maybe in the champ I could go through games and have moments where I wasn't in the present, like I wasn't focused, and we'd get away with it. But that's the one thing I noticed straight away. You can't switch off. Still, obviously, that's still the standard.
Everyone says that, like, make a mistake in the Prem, it's a goal, and a champ depends on your player. Yeah,
you might get away.
That's crazy. You see, like you mentioned, pros that put your arm around you. Like, was it Chris Solly? And you're close with Virgil. Have you ever come across a player who is standoff with you? Not like bad vibes, but wary of a youngster who's that good.
Not really. I mean, there's obviously you see the contrast of like love you get from. When I was at Charlton, Andre Dijk was there. He used to be at Burnley.
Yeah.
And then he was like my big brother. But then like we also had Tal Ben Aim and Roger Johnson.
Okay.
So it was like I was the young one coming through, and Andre really put his arm around me. And it's not like stiff. It's just, if I compare it to the love that he gave me in comparison to the guidance, like they weren't really, putting their arm around me, giving me advice the same way he was, sort of thing.
I hear that. Maybe again, you can't let that put you down, because it could be who he is, could be a cultural thing. Like he just comes in, trains, goes home.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, that's not wrong. It's not anyone's. Obviously, there are naturally figures in the dressing room that are like leaders and do that. And there's tough love as well. There's players who are on you for the sake of being on you to get the best out of you. And some people, like, that rubs them the wrong way, or others, it's like, it gets you going. But that's just football, man.
I hear that. Hopefully you're one of them players who chose the young players.
I definitely rather see myself having that approach. I don't feel like I'm there yet. If I can have a conversation, exactly. I can't have that conversation in that same way, because I've got a lot of my own story to write. But if someone had if someone wanted to have a conversation, I'd like to think I'll take the time to just sit. It's not about football, it's life, moving up, just the whole process. I'd rather have that conversation like that than being. But don't get me wrong, it can work, but it's not my nature.
Yeah. I want to ask, why Liverpool? Surely you had loads of clubs interested. Can you say who they were?
Yeah. So like the summer, I went in the summer, the January, I went to Redbull Leipzig.
Okay.
I'd only played half a season. They were still in the Bundesliga too. It was more like,
they're building. Yeah.
Obviously, in hindsight, they're a great club. But I wasn't ready. Like, I went with my mum, my dad. My missus wasn't feeling it either. Like, it didn't feel. I wasn't ready. I knew I wasn't ready, but it was the opportunity to go came up. But anyway, then in the summer, I'd say there was Liverpool, Bournemouth and Villa.
Okay.
Those are like the three main options. And they're just contrasting like journeys, like routes really. I think at the time it was still Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
Like great gaffer. And it was a strong, like, it was a big decision.
Yeah.
But I just think I met Brendan. I always had a soft spot for Liverpool. Just like as a club, it just felt like had a warmth towards it, and met Brendan, and he was just a likeable person. And I knew I could still maybe go down that route, have that platform of being at a top club, and go on learn, because that's what I thought was going to happen.
It's kind of like a safety net. Yeah,
exactly. Like it's hard to then do it again. While there's opportunities here, while one of the best clubs in the world wants you to go, felt like it was the right way.
No, I hear that. But you see, you said you felt you weren't ready. Look now, you got a lot of youngsters that go. Sancho went out, Jude Bellingham's out there, Musiala.
Mm-hmm.
Do you reckon they knew they weren't like? This is just your opinion.
Yeah.
Do you think they thought they weren't ready, or they just went out there and just thought, I'm just gonna go out there and try and play?
No, I doubt they thought they weren't ready. I think it's more of a guarantee you're going to play and get minutes. And I think it has such a good spotlight now. If you play in Germany, the likelihood is you're coming back.
Yeah.
Jump 10 steps. So at that time for me, it wasn't like, there wasn't many examples of that yet.
Okay, yeah.
I think maybe today it would be like, wow, this is the way. But I doubt any of them felt like they weren't ready. It's just a guarantee of I'm going to play. If I play, I'll do my thing, and then I'll come back.
That's sick. Did you, when you signed, was it the season after like Gerrard slipped and all of that?
Yeah, just the season after, yeah. So I never got to play with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Suarez and that?
No, he left that year. It was still like Skirtle and Ricky Lambert, and it was still a different time.
Yeah.
Thaco, and obviously Brendan was still gaffer. Hendo just became skipper.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just that period.
And it's the whole different dynamics, different mentalities, different money as well. Because you're coming from Charlton, where it's like dogfight in the change room. They're comfy, big deals, big contracts, and they got to perform because Liverpool weren't doing well then. But still.
But that's the biggest thing that surprised me, was the approach towards the professionalism, and at championship clubs, I think it's a given most of the time. Wednesday, Sunday off, and you know the schedule. And I went up and it was like, wow, no days off. Especially when Jurgen came in, it was like everyone's in the gym an hour before, but like half an hour before pre-act, recovery and doing everything. Physio, treatment. Treatment isn't banner, you're always on the bed. It's like I'm getting my treatment before, after. It was that sort of opened my eyes. I thought the same. Everyone, these guys are good. They're established, and see, I was starstruck going. But when a week in and I saw the way everyone applied themselves, it was like, okay, it's not what I thought it was.
Okay, and a question for the fans. Obviously, you've gone there off the back of Rodgers, but he had his high, nearly winning the league. Then, performance has dipped. Jurgen comes in. When did you start seeing the change to okay, cool, we're now not Champions League, qualifying for top 4, we are title pushers?
I think when I got injured and came back, I think the gaffer had really put down the marker as to what our identity was and how we were going to play. And I think we were starting to get that fear from other teams. So that season, obviously, we obviously had the best start, hence why Brendan went. But then, I was injured for the year and came back that pre-season, and it was sort of were going for it, and you could really see the change in training. The desire, the whole mentality was just different. Like from that point on, I think naturally it takes a while, but once it got going, it was like,
Well, is pre-season mad because you look at stats or like the stats they put up on Sky and stuff, and it's like you lot outrun. Like when up until this season, you dominate the game, like running, ball, goals, all of that. Is training and pre-season that intense?
Yeah. When the gaffer came, it was like hammy central. I remember there was physio department still to talk about it. I think they'd done research, but it was hammy every week. Like,
got to do your Nordics.
Yeah, we weren't. It wasn't working. Like, it was just a shock to the system.
Yeah,
and I think over time, then we had the season. I don't know if we got to the Europa League final, but we weren't in the Champions League. And then we just have a midweek, like a Lemby 11 game, basically.
Yeah.
And just the natural intensity is always. And I think some players come and it's a shock. Others are just naturally athletes. But that was like. But it is. We do the runs, but it's more so just intensity in the drill, counter pressing. We'll do a rondo and it's like a game intensity.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the intensity comes, and it just becomes instinct, like to play at that intensity.
Yeah. Now watch you lot's run those. When it's one with Hendo and Milner, bro, you're in the middle.
I don't go.
You're done. You're done.
I don't go in that, but because it's not. There's times it's second day recovery and you're legging, but Millie's still
bopping.
Yeah, I don't go in that, but
no.
But those are the people don't see, but those are the people who set the standards.
Yeah.
And likewise, when we go for a rut, it's the senior figures like Millie, Hendo, Virg, that everyone's accountable. There's no one in our dressing room that trains lax or is big time, because if they are applying themselves, no one can not.
Yeah, I think when you say that, you look at the Liverpool team and you don't really see anyone who could have an ego. Like you look like Salah scores goals but still runs his socks off.
Yeah.
Mane, when he was there running his socks off, it's like, yeah, I'll agree. That's a good.
Yeah.
Run.
Like people are. What Mo's done is he's going to be a legend at the club, but he still applies himself. He works hard every day. He's in the gym an hour before and does everything. So it's, although the team has players who have had massive success away from the pitch with accolades and so on, there's still that same desire to work.
Yeah, everyone's on the same level and there's a reason why.
And it wouldn't slide and just, no one would respect it. So there's no point even being like that.
Okay. All right. Okay, cool. Do you feel, looking back at the Joe Gomez who is leaving Charlton, do you feel leaving London helped your development?
Yeah. I think, obviously as a kid, growing into a man, I never paid a bill, I never lived by myself.
Yeah.
So on that front, 100%, it made me grow up because I had to. And then I got injured early, and then that made me do the reflection, because you're not getting that stimulation where you're not present. When you're training, you're just in the flow. Recovery, game, in the flow. But when it's 7 days a week, physio bed, you're sitting there with your thoughts, watching the team train, then that's when I had to grow up from a mental standpoint. So it was both ways made me massively.
Yeah, and the thing is your missus is with you, but you don't have your mum and dad. That's a different type of chat with them that you'd have with your missus, when you're injured and stuff like that.
Even at that time, my missus was still in uni, so I get the weekends, but the week, a long time. I used to just drag out the day because I'd go home to just do nothing, be in my thoughts. So it was, and then on top of that, you come into a big club with a completely different audience, different scale. So it's that's a different pressure, but I wouldn't change it.
That's mad, because you're saying you're alone during the week. You're going home, your house is big as well. talking to yourself, then you are and that.
When I went up there 18, I want to do
little apartment in the city.
Yeah,
but it's still echo. You're by yourself. Yeah, it's all, what's it, panoramic view, way around and that. See Manny from your top floor. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Cool. You've gone up and you're at Liverpool now. You're a Prem boy. Do you feel your friendship group got smaller or stayed as it is? Because now you're away. Your job's serious now. Obviously, you're serious at Charlton, but now, I'm sorted. I can be sorted for life if I do well. Some people can hate on that. Some people can leech. You speak about THD, cool. What about the rest?
I think I kind of realised early that I couldn't be out messing around, and at Charlton, that I've never been one for going out like drinking, or I never really got into that sort of lifestyle. But at Charlton, obviously, I'd go play a game and I was chill, go to Nando's with my boys after, go across the road, Casper's, just chilling.
Being a kid, like
yeah. Going to bed anytime before a game on a Tuesday, whatever. I think, obviously, the dynamic naturally changes with your boys because you're not like, rather just come round every evening. It was, we got a trek to come up and see you and chill, but it doesn't change. Like, your friends are still your boys, and you notice that from the get go. Like, it's not. I think as well, if I portray myself like I'm just another human, same way we're just boys, and I got those reminders that football can get taken from me like that. So I'm not gonna act as if because that can be the downfall half the time. Because then your boys will like view you that way, like you're the guy that's gonna take us out, or you're the guy that's gonna do this for us because you're acting like that. So we're gonna treat you like that. So I was fortunate to just have good friends that never really saw it like that. Obviously the dynamic changes because you don't see each other as much. And then you grow up, like, have a family now, and things change. Like, I'm not going to sit up till 2 a.m. just chatting sometimes, but it's not the same. But I was fortunate to have good people around me, and I never really went down the wrong path of wanting to do so-and-so, or do extracurricular stuff that wasn't.
Yeah.
I realised early sort of thing.
Okay. All right. I ask this question to everyone who's from the ends. How did you stop yourself, or did you have the opportunity from going down that path?
Yeah, for sure, because like it was an all boys school. There's always going to be opportunities to just chill. I guess like knowing that we had training, me and Case had training, that if we missed the first 160, we were late for sure. There's times like he got detention. I'm like, Case, like I'm not gonna leave him, but I'm pissed.
Yeah.
But then I never had that desire for like, it's easy to congregate and then it's like suddenly there's 20 of us outside the gates. We're not going to like sing lullabies, and it's not going, you're just lingering, you're not going to get up to no good. So I never had that desire to be, I always had a bit of a wariness of being in that sort of environment. So I was, obviously training helped, and then, I don't know, man, I never seek that sort of thrill. I was just lucky in that sense. I guess my parents, obviously, they came from a stable family. I had no reason. My mum and dad wouldn't, like, if I was out till late, so what are you doing, sort of thing. So, but obviously once you get of age, they're not really going to speak to you like that. But I don't know, I never really got distracted, like drinking, parties. It was never my thing.
I've got a funny story though. Apparently, you and your boys are out. It's either Napa or Ibiza. Everyone's going back to the hotel to get changed. Come back and check you, and you're doing shuttle runs or something. Listen. Archives is strong.
Yeah, we went Napa one. That was my only lad's holiday. Because we was together. She let me go.
Mission slips, that.
Yeah, but I don't drink, so I think that gave her comfort. But then I'm wary, like, off season's important. Like, I still want to get my run. I'm one of the, like, I get guilty. I will eat if I don't.
Serious?
Yeah, if I haven't done what I need to do, then we had a nice hill. It's just, I didn't drink, so it was never a thing of being like, I need to get pre-drinks, and I was still present, so it's still the worries of ball or like doing my work was still there. Whereas if I was drunk, I'll just be like.
So you thought I'll go get it?
That was a long holiday, man. Because I was just fed up, just tired. But yeah, that's always been my nature, I guess. Like, just the guilt. If I don't do it, I feel like, beat me up. I'd rather just do it.
That is funny, bro.
Yeah.
If I ever saw my boys doing that, bro, you'd have to go home. The ballet would not stop. You'd have to play.
Yeah. I don't know. How you...
Listen, we'll talk off cam, yeah? Anyway, cool. Again, like you say, you don't drink. You don't seem like a party guy. When do you celebrate? Cool. Let me give you some scenarios. You tell me what you've done, okay? So, you signed to Liverpool. People I know shut down Liverpool. Whatever club, where have I been in Liverpool? Can't remember, but shut down whatever club's there. Yeah? You win the Prem. Shut down whatever club. Champions League. Fly out wherever, shut down wherever. That's not you. Why?
I guess one, I have the people around me that aren't, that's not what they're pushing me towards doing. Or if I did try and do that, this is out of character what you're doing. I never got into the table thing. It's never, because if I'm not drunk, I got my senses. What am I doing that for? I don't really like the limelight and being in that environment. I guess I don't know. It's never been like when I moved. It's not really a moment to celebrate. I guess like after we won stuff. But the team put on a party and we'll have a team thing.
Okay.
But then, like, my whole summer then is not going to be different. Like, I'm not going flying here and there and doing up all that stuff. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, I enjoy the moment. Like, feel fulfilled. Like, I worked hard. This season went like this, or so on and so forth. But it's not. I know that if I do that, it's just a temporary thrill. It's not going to change anything. So, never been my aspiration.
Fair play. Do you think, I guess you've been like that. I was going to say, do you think being married has helped that? But that's just you.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever I never wanted to impress even my missus by doing that stuff, because I know I'm attracting the wrong people for the wrong reasons. But I don't know, man. It's never really. And then as time's grown, obviously you like nice things, but then as time grows, I guess being together young, having a son earlier, changes your views of what's like a good day, what's like a good memory. And then I got there's no reason to then do those things that cuts off like half of the holidays or like doing X, Y, Z. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's just good, a good support system.
I wish I thought like that, to be fair.
But it's easy, man. It's easy to not to be like strayed down the wrong path, because especially now with socials and stuff and all of that.
Sort of competent, like, but only now, but the last few years, I'm like, I don't really care about all of that. But if it's not on socials, it didn't happen, innit? But
yeah, but it's not like, I've heard other people say it, but it's like, wake up first thing in the morning, you wouldn't have 100,000 people in your bedroom.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you waking up and looking at that many people's lives or letting them look at yours? It's not healthy. I think like we're probably going to realise that in years to come.
Yeah, facts. How do you meet your missus?
Just like boys' school, and there was a group from the girls' school, and just like we have the same friends anyway. And then we were friends first, chilling, and then like cinema, like 5 of you, then 4 of you. Just one day, it was like, why not, I guess. But then it's like a weird transition, isn't it? Because you're friends.
Yeah.
Then it's
dangerous one as well.
And it's weird because you're young, you're immature. Like you don't want to ruin that because you're you're in your friendship group. And then, yeah, it's weird when you're young. You don't know how you're gonna act. And I never really had a girlfriend properly like that either.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I've been now married and that. See the car here ringing that. Yes. Yeah. Cool. Winning the Premier League. Yeah. So you come from Catford. To win the Prem is a dream because you're watching football all the time. When you won it, what was going through your head?
It was big, man, because I think a lot of it is like wanting to be involved as well, like feeling like you played a part.
Yeah.
So that season for me, like at least I felt like I played a part. It was weird because of COVID and it got half like.
Oh yeah. You're not celebrated by us. Yeah.
So it was like halfway through the season, we kind of knew we were there, but we weren't. And then we came back empty stadium, so it was like annoying, but it was special, man, because for the club, like what it meant. Then on a personal note, feeling like I played my part. Yeah, it was a shame we didn't get to like celebrate it properly, but then seeing what the Champions League reception was, that made it worse because you felt like the Prem would have been crazy.
Yeah. But people were still outside, didn't it, letting off fireworks?
Yeah. Whatever they could do to get involved, it was crazy. But it's a special, like, even this last parade off the back of losing the Champions League, everyone was on the plane back. Like, why? This is not a good idea. Like, it's flat. Everyone's disappointed. But as soon as you got on the bus, it was like crazy. Like, so everyone says one of the best days of their life.
Can I imagine after what last one you won was 88? Yeah. And to win it now.
Crazy.
My dad was gassed. Bro, I'm Ugandan, innit? But he bought a cow back home and said, everyone, yeah, eat.
My dad's Gambian as well, so it's
okay, yeah. So
it's tradition, like,
bro,
I go cow, yeah.
Shut it down. FaceTiming every day. Bro, literally, he would ring me 10 times a day just to say, Liverpool were champions. Uncle's ringing me.
That's
Crazy.
what it's about, man. And sometimes we don't see that reach, I guess, but it's great. Like football brings that sort of joy, and it's crazy.
Facts. And I'm happy for him because I'm happy for the club because he's been through the lows, isn't it? Like not watching match of the day when you lose, not eating, stressed out, telling me to get out because I'm laughing at him. To be fair, I laughed at him when Arsenal beat you lot, but
it's recent though.
Yeah, recent. It was his birthday on the day. He was wearing his Liverpool top, went and changed, put a Palace top on.
The Palace is the contingency sort of thing.
No, it's my boy's top, so he just puts it on. Yeah, joke, man. So what feels better for you? Champions League, crazy, but I'm gonna ask this because Liverpool win the Champions League a lot, but they don't win the Premier a lot. And you've experienced both. What feels better?
I think like there's two sides to it. I guess in the moment the Champions League felt better because of everything that came, like the celebration, the parade. It was like, this is crazy. But on a personal note, probably the Prem, just because to feel more involved. Sometimes it's overthinking, but it's natural. Like if you play, if you don't play, you feel more like you contribute towards the team. So yeah, in that sense, but both were like amazing experiences, man. Like, and I know that stuff I can't take that for granted because to be amongst a team, like, there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle that got to come together to let that happen. So they were both.
Was that the year when you beat Barcelona?
Yeah, the 4. Yeah, that's what I meant about Anfield. Like that's what I mean about Anfield because That's Barca.
Messi scored that free kick.
Yeah. He scored that away.
Oh, was it away? I thought. Yeah. He scored that away.
Scored that away, and then we came home. I didn't play. I played in the away leg where the new camp.
4-1.
Yeah, or 3-0.
3-0. Yeah, 3-0. You won 4-1. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like a team like Barca, Busquets, and like the players that can play football the way they play, and to see them feel the effects at Anfield was like, it's crazy. That was the craziest atmosphere ever. Because I was on the bench and I could see it. Like, this is crazy.
It's funny because when, like, during that, even like other games, where that game, Klopp's doing the laps, like, up and down, celebrating and that.
But that's why the gaffer's special in that sense, because he really feeds into the culture and people feed off of him. So it's like, it's a match that just thrives off each other.
In the Champions League final, does it bother you that you only played like, come on the last few minutes?
No, I'm grateful that he brought me on, sort of thing. That's just a top club, man. Like, it's like longing for involvement, because then the year before I was injured. I wasn't even involved, and it was double disappointment because we lost and I wasn't involved. But then, so I had that perspective, like, already, that to be involved is special, man.
And the bonus doubles as well, because you won it and you played and all of that. It's chill in it sometimes. Yeah. Sorry, I was like this with THD as well. Sorry. What's the goals now? You've won the Prem, you won the Champions League. A lot of people can't say that. You're a boy from London, you're still 25. What's your goals football-wise?
I think to just be the best version of myself. I want to have consistency and durability, play a solid season and enjoy my football, like, more than anything. I obviously have a different outlook on it because of the injuries, but just be the best version of myself and see where that takes me. Control the controllable, because sometimes opportunity comes, sometimes it doesn't. But if I can look back and say that I did everything I could to be the best version of me, where that takes me, it is what it is. But I'm grateful to be at the club that I'm at. But at the same time, have that balance of the hunger to wanna keep striving, man. For sure.
Fair play. Questions are gonna start winding down a bit now. How did your relationship with Van Dijk come about? Like, obviously, he's come in and voted best defender in the world at one point, and then there's you. How'd you?
Genie was probably like the middle ground.
Okay.
When Virg came. But Virg is just cool. Like, obviously, I didn't really know much of him. And, like, he subconsciously affected me a lot, I guess, because I was nearly going to go out on loan because he was going to come in the summer, and he didn't come. But I didn't know what, obviously, it was Virg already. Even though he hadn't played at Liverpool, he's already had a big, but aside from the football and stuff, he's just good person. So it was like Genie was the sort of, because they were both Dutch and I was close to Genie, as Genie as well as a cleanest guy. So it was just naturally formed, like, we'd speak, the three of us, like, meet up and stuff. And then when Genie left, we just grew closer.
Fair play.
Just a good guy. Yeah, and obviously, like, I've learned a lot from him, like, off the pitch and just as people. And yeah, it's nice to have someone like that you can lean upon.
I'm gonna ask you. Gotta get him on this pod for a repage. That is a question that I'm gonna hound you with. If he says yes, happy day. Says no,
right? The odds are slim. They're very slim, but I can ask him.
You never know, man. You never know.
You never know.
Which player's giving you the longest day, or you thought this is?
Or like opponent?
Your opponent, because you man Mark Haaland out the game.
I think at fullback is when it's. I think at centre half, you pay the price with a goal, but it's like at fullback, I've come against wingers that I like Sane when he was at City.
Yeah.
Direct. and like the whole game, I know it's long. It's a long game. There's not as many like direct. Wolves is obviously one of the last, not the last, but he's still of that nature. But yeah, I think at centre back it's more like concentration and not wanting to concede.
Yeah.
Rather than like he's gonna, because if someone's bigger and stronger and more physical, you try not to engage in that sort of fight. Like try and avoid the pinning and stuff of that nature. That's why you see the analyst before the game, sort of visualize how you want to approach it. And naturally, because if I'm playing next to Virg, the weaker link people see as me. So goal kick, everything, this side. So it's have to know my game and sort of visualize what I want to do. But fullback, Sane, Raheem, Wolf, like them sort of like those wingers that are just direct.
Yeah.
That's what I am. So
I can imagine. But throughout all the injuries and stuff, you've left a good impression on the gaffer because he's shown faith and given you a 5-year deal and stuff like that. Is decent.
Yeah.
How, if you could say anything, if you could do anything, what would you do for the gaffer as a repayment?
I think he knows, like, not just me, but what the team thinks of him. Like, in a way, I guess it's ages and so on, but like in the times where he's had conversations with me like a father figure more than just a gaffer. But obviously there's times you're not playing and there's frustration. But fundamentally, I'm always going to be indebted. I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's like an action that I could do to repay. But I think he knows that there's gratitude, massively so, like from the whole team. And then on a personal note, he knows going through the injuries and him having the faith, like to see that I can still be, that I can rebuild myself and be a player that wants to play for him and impact the team, and that's forever. Like, and it's probably something I'll look back on after as well.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky to have had the gaffer like him for this period of time. Like, I know it's not something to take for granted.
That's good for you, good for the club. The contract probably ends at the back end of your career. Obviously, you still have, touch wood, when your body's still well, still have a decent few amount of years. When do you start thinking about like future investments and future plans for after the game?
I think I've sort of had to have that mindset. Like, as I said, like my last injury was like an eye opener. It was one of those moments that makes you realise already that this can, like, you can't take it for granted. I've always never, like I say, I guess like one of like the outlets is going out, and if you don't do all of that and you got a family, it already like keeps you in certain boundaries. But yeah, already you have that mindset of you want to be smart with what you do and try and set things up for the future. And then I guess with that, I just want the freedom to choose what you want to do. I can't see myself wanting to be in football.
No.
But like, if you have the choice, I mean,
coaching Sam's team.
Yeah, that's different. Like, that's cool. But like to check, like my manager, that's just like those sort of things, punditry. Never say never, but I don't see that. But yeah, it's just like you want to have the freedom to choose what you want to do. But I'd say since the injuries, it's definitely on the forefront. Okay.
And just to round it off, throughout this interview, complacency isn't in your DNA. When did you feel like, I've made it?
Didn't, man. Honestly, like, obviously that's I've been asked, and it's so up and down that you can't take it for granted, because you can be at the highest level and be out of contract and then nothing comes to fruition. So it's like you can't you can't think like that. And I didn't, because I didn't, as I said, I didn't expect to come to Liverpool and stick around.
Playing, yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't, I always felt like I got to be hungry, that I can't just put my feet up and feel like I'm there. And then, yeah, the injuries, and then just having a perspective of enjoying the moment, being in the present, and then not thinking about, yeah, I've made it. Because even with staying somewhere long enough, you still want to be there, and you still have to try and apply yourself to be there. Otherwise, people see through it. So it's like, if you have that sort of mentality, it's not who I want to be, or like how I want to be, and then don't want my son to see that I'm that type of person.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't have that moment, but I'm very appreciative of the journey that I've had, highs and lows. But I still wouldn't sit here and be like, yeah, I'm this or that, or there's a lot of work to do.
No, I hear that, man. I think this ep is for the young players coming up, like before they get to scholars and stuff, like just to live their, like focus on what they really want to do. And sometimes you've got to make the sacrifices, like you sacrifice drinking and, you know, doing like the raving when you clearly should do, because you've won what you've won. But yeah, man, thank you for sharing, man.
No, I appreciate being there, bro, man.
I love it, man.
Sit down.